it's like you're kind of turning into this asexual machine, if you will. But it's very zen. It strips everything away, just you and yourself, and it always teaches you something about yourself. I love bodybuilding so much. But yeah, what a lot of people don't know, and what he's joking about here is that, yeah, your downstairs will stop working if you compete in bodybuilding. Not forever, but temporarily that department will be closed.
So I wake in the morning and I step outside and I take a deep breath and I get real high and I scream at the top of my lungs, what's going on? And I say, hey.
Hello my beautiful crew members, and welcome to another video just for you. I figured we could do another reaction video and see what shenanigans the internet has to offer us today that we can examine and maybe find some entertainment, cringe, or shock and horror, who knows. And yeah, I'm gonna start now and hope you enjoy the show. Let's go.
Her name is Carolina and she died at the age of 27. At the time of her death, she only weighed 22 kilograms. She was obsessed with something called volume eating, filling your stomach with stuff that basically has no calories. She literally only ate fruit to fuel her body. I read that she was posting her food online and even live streaming it. And the sick part is the people who watched it supported her. One of the main things skinny influencers keep promoting is volume eating. No man, no woman, no trend, nothing is worth your health. There is a lot more to life than just food. So go out there and enjoy that ice cream. And fuck skinny culture as well.
Okay, so we're starting off with shock and horror. My apologies. Well, it is absolutely terrifying that she weighed only 22 kilos. Can you imagine that? That's like 3 of her would make 1 of me in a way, almost. That is insane. I think I sent this one to Ilona actually as well, because I hope she will, if she hasn't already, react to this as well. But something I wanted to say about this is there's something that I find a bit about his take on this. He said she was volume eating and just eating stuff that has no calories. That is not necessarily volume. I mean, technically it is, but to me, volume eating is more of a tool to make your meal bigger, obviously without adding any calories, but obviously based on a substantial meal. Because you're not, it's difficult. I don't know how to really put this into words, because obviously I'm coming from the opposite end. I'm more of an overeater, and the whole volume eating is more targeted towards people who have a tendency to overeat. And it makes sense that if you're in a deficit, you would likely want to volume eat, which makes it easier to tolerate because you have more stuff in your stomach, right? So I don't think it is right to just say volume eating is bad and go eat ice cream or whatever he said. Because again, it's just go eat ice cream, don't volume eat. It's gonna depend on who that message is reaching. I think generally this oversimplification of these messages of, oh yeah, you should just go eat the ice cream and stuff, or you're gonna be the word I can't say on YouTube, or the opposite way where it's just, oh, you have to measure every single little gram that goes in your body and you have to eat 1,200 energy units. Yeah, right. Can you still say calories? I don't know, man. This YouTube is difficult. But what I'm trying to say is all the nuance is lost on these very short takes, and I think that can be a bit damaging as well, depending on who that message reaches. And even if you're telling someone on that end of the spectrum that is very skinny and yet, oh yeah, just go eat the ice cream, that can turn easily the other way as well. I've seen people who used to be extremely, obviously the the eating where you don't want to eat much, that one, right? They were deep into that, and then they committed to the, okay, let's just eat the ice cream, let's focus on eating whatever, right? And then lo and behold, now they're miserable on the other end of the spectrum. So I think the answer to either one is not, oh yeah, eat the diet Dr. Now always put these bariatric patients on, like 1,200 calories or something extremely low, or to not give a shit and just eat ice cream or whatever. No, I think we should just promote balance. Eat enough to fuel your body for your life, for your performance, and be able, if you want to fit in ice cream in moderation, if you can't, maybe just have something else if you cannot moderate yourself around ice cream. And if some other food triggers you to restrict or something, maybe stay away from that, if that's a thing. I don't know. Again, that is something I have not personally experienced. But yeah, I think the message, sorry, this is long-winded and rambly, but I guess this is what you're turning up for, because so far none of you had told me to stop rambling yet. Feel free to do so, but yeah, we need to promote balance and just not make this so black and white, I think, because that's never a good message. Black and white and oversimplification is not good. Yeah. Okay, on to the next one. Sorry, started this off extremely rambly.
I used to have orthorexia. Health is everything, not just what goes in your body. I'm going to rattle off a few things and let me know if you resonate with these. You're scared to go out with your friends for food. You're scared to go out with your family for food. You're always wanting to know what is in the food. You are scared of having anything deemed unhealthy or demonized by the fitness community. And you end up saying no to a lot of your friends to socialize over food, socialize with your family, socialize with your work. If that sounds anything like you, what I used to be, I used to have orthorexia. I used to be so health conscious, so blindly obsessed about what was going in my body, food-wise. And I was so miserable. I wasn't happy. I might have been healthy inside, but I wasn't healthy outside.
So I've watched this one before. Actually, I've watched some of these before, but I'm going to be completely transparent. But I found this one particularly interesting because prior to watching this, I just did not understand what orthorexia is. Wait, can I say that word? It'll be fine. Because to me, I figured, how can that be disordered? Because you're not eating too much, you're not eating too little, and I didn't understand how. I just couldn't wrap my head around it. And now when he explained it, that you're genuinely scared of going out to a meal and that can give you anxiety, and just like that it's a genuine obsession to the point that it gets like that. It was just something that I found really hard to understand. But the way he put it in words now finally made me understand that can be an issue as well. Because I'm thinking, well, if I'm in prep, like I'm in prep now, right? Like if someone invites me out for food, I wouldn't go, or I'd be like, hey, I'm happy to come, I just can't eat with you guys, you know, it's okay. But I've never been scared to go out with friends or have a cheat meal, or I don't know, like the worst that might happen is that if I have a cheat meal or a cheat day, that I'm a bit in my head like, should I really go into this place because I might go a bit too overboard or something like that. But it's not something, it's never that serious, you know. And I think the way he described it, it sounds, when you actually think about something like going out with friends for a meal, making you scared of what you might put in your, like genuinely what you might put in your body, and that you're so obsessed with that. I was like, wow, that is such an alien thought process to me that it never even occurred to me. I had a conversation about orthorexia with Ilona as well. I could just never quite get it. I mean, now it seems obvious, but it's just such a foreign, that sounds horrible. That sounds absolutely terrible. Because I'm coming from the overeating side of things. If I'm overeating, or, you know, if I'm going out with friends, yeah, afterwards I might feel bad or something. But even while that was going on, I could still some degree actually enjoy food, and I was never scared of it, or just, I don't know, that sounds terrible. So yeah, I definitely learned something here, that that's a thing, and it is scary that that exists. And it's something that's also not often talked about. People talk a lot about obesity and Anna. That's the word I can use on YouTube. Yeah, that people talk a lot about that, but I have very rarely heard orthorexia discussed. So I think it's great that he explains what it is, and yeah, my heart goes out to people who struggle with that, because being obsessive over food, I mean, you might think, okay, as a bodybuilder, you know, I measure everything and I'm like very particular with what I eat, but it's not like it's a compulsion or anything. Like it's a hobby, you know, it's supposed to be fun, it's enriching my life, it's making things like, yeah, it's cool, it's something fun that I do every day. Dieting, like dieting is a fun part of bodybuilding. Sure, especially when you're bulking, a lot of cheat meals is especially fun. But even when you're dieting, it's a hobby, you know, it's fun. So to imagine myself doing something like that, where you kind of like read every label and you have this very specific way of eating, but not out of enjoyment or fun, but out of compulsion and out of fear, that sounds horrible. Oh, that is like the anti-version of bodybuilding. Ugh. Yeah, the more I think about it, the more like it sounds scary, because on surface level, to me, again, I looked at orthorexia, I'm like, you're just eating really healthy food, like, okay, but yeah, the way he's describing it sounds like hell.
27, and your men's class. Second place is number 27, and your men's classic physique true novice class B champion is number 22, Devin Spears.
We're spinning off the edge of the world. Out in the night. Never had no chance.
Second.
That is so impressive and so sick. Like, I'm getting goosebumps. This is amazing. So I've wondered about this before, right? About how can you compete in bodybuilding as a trans person, because you are so, like, there is playing bodybuilding on difficult, on hard mode, and then there is like whatever veteran ultra difficulty this dude is playing it on. Because you have to imagine, it's one thing to be a female, right, and trying to get really big and whatnot, right? Because you have to think, right, sure, open bodybuilders, females, they get bigger than this as well, right? But the thing is, you're trying to, like, women and men have different bodies, right? They have different, like, frames as well, and obviously he seems to be predispositioned to be able to get his body like that. But to be able, as a female, right, to, by any means, of course, like, this is a trans person taking, like, actually transmaxing properly, right? But still, to be able to step on a bodybuilding stage and to compete against other men in a men's division and then objectively be the best on stage, that is nuts. That is sick. That is super cool. I mean, props. Yeah, that's why I was wondering, if does that ever happen, that trans people compete? And then there's this guy actually winning a show. That is sick. Will he ever be able to compete at an Olympia stage? No, absolutely not. I mean, there are limits to this, what is possible, but that is crazy. Although never say never. Maybe he's gonna prove me wrong. That would be insane. But yeah, it is absolutely wild to see a biologically female, a trans man, being able to compete with natural, actual men. I mean, they're not natural, but you get what I mean, right? Yeah, that is crazy. Oh yeah, in regards to the trans thing, I would be hard pressed to believe or see that a trans woman would be able to compete against other women. I don't see that happening. Unless you're, like, again, really, really predispositioned for it already with your bone structure. That would be so difficult. I think the trans women there have it so much harder, even, because as a biological male, like, how would you... That would be so difficult. I'm also trying to think from a hormonal level, because, right, as women, like, we're I mean, yeah, man, that's even more cooked. But let's see, who knows, maybe someone will surprise me and knock it out of the park on that front as well. We'll see. But yeah, certainly very impressive. Yeah, so I think it's self-explanatory what this is referring to. But in case you don't get it, so if you are very, very lean, like stage lean, it looks super cool, right? And who wouldn't want to walk around like that all year? I mean, the dieting is super hard and whatnot, and you have brain fog, and you're super fatigued and you turn stupid. But even if you could tolerate that, it is so extremely unhealthy, but also you don't have a sex drive and your downstairs will not work. Like, you are if you actually peeled, like stage lean peeled, you look fantastic, but you have turned yourself temporarily asexual. That is just the way it works, because your human body, right, is kind of like, you are so on death's door that you're not really, but kind of, that your body is like, oh, we're turning this function off. This is not a priority. Like, we need to conserve any and all energy. So that is just not something that happens with you anymore. Like, if you're a dude, it will not be functional at all. So if you see stage lean bodybuilders, it's safe to assume their parts currently do not work. And it takes a while when you're dieting back, well, not super long, but to get it back, sometimes more, sometimes less. I've heard sometimes people have a problem with getting that back and stuff, but once you're hormonally healthy again, you're recovered, you're gonna be fine. But it is a interesting experience actually to go through that. It's almost kind of zen, because, you know, like, these normal human things, like being horny and things like that, just stripped away. Like, throughout prep, it's just like everything gets reduced. I said this before, it's kind of like when you're in a pool underwater and you're closing your eyes and everything is just kind of like subdued, like the sound and everything, and you're almost kind of weightless, and it's just all your senses get kind of, it's very interesting. Even feelings, like, it's like you're almost too tired to, by the end of it, you're too tired to get angry or annoyed, and or even like too excited, or just, it's like you're kind of turning into this asexual machine, if you will. But it's very zen. It strips everything away, just you and yourself, and it always teaches you something about yourself. I love bodybuilding so much. But yeah, what a lot of people don't know, and what he's joking about here, is that, yeah, your downstairs will stop working if you compete in bodybuilding. Not forever, but temporarily, that department will be closed.
The rest days really only matter like if you're training hard, and majority of people in the gym are training like pussies. But when should my rest day be? Never. Like, the way you train, you're fully fucking recovered before you get home.
So I agree with this and I don't agree with this. I absolutely agree that most people don't train hard enough at the gym. I have just uploaded a video talking about exactly that. But rest days definitely matter, because, I mean, you could, in theory, you should incorporate at least some rest days, I guess, because you have to give your muscle some time to recover. But yes, for that, you actually need to give your muscle a reason to recover. That is true. Absolutely.
So one of my clients is being fit shamed at work to the point where it's actually bullying. This week she's had a comment regarding how much water she's drinking. She's been told that drinking more than 4 litres of water a day is dangerous and that she's going to drown herself, because this is advice that they've been told in the Slimming World. Unless that water is going directly into your lungs, that's false information. But in the next breath, this woman is telling everyone that veggie nuggets from McDonald's are healthy. You can eat as many as you want because they are sin-free. you honestly couldn't fucking write it. It's always the people who know absolutely fuck all have the loudest opinions.
This is so true, and it is painful. Especially for me with my mentality, I'm one of those people, like, if someone around me is just confidently and aggressively, outspokenly wrong about the subject of my special interest or anything that I am rather well informed over, I am not the type of person that is very good at biting her tongue. I've had this once as well, where I think, what was it? We were talking about BCAAs or protein powder or something. I don't even remember the context, but I had to like it took everything out of me not to let it like actually get into an argument. It was Herbalife, right? Because she was doing this Herbalife thing, which is low-key like an MLM as well, and I was just, bro. And she's also exactly the type of person that will go to the gym with her bands and her body weight lunges and think her ass will grow, and it's like, I don't want the scale go up, but I just want to be toned. And I've tried talking to this woman, I've tried talking sense into her, but anyway, right? So what he's saying is absolutely correct. So there will be people who are very aggressively wrong, but they will, for some reason, also do this. Fit shaming it is fit shaming, where people will kind of like bully you for making better choices or having the lifestyle that you have. But I'll let him continue first.
And here's what I've noticed as well. The people who are taking the piss out of your meal prep, your steps, your water intake, you just go into the gym, they're never the people who have their own shit together. They're built like a fucking microwave meal themselves, for starters. And the mad thing is, when someone is genuinely happy with themselves, they don't spend their day trying to drag other people down. They'll ask questions, they'll learn, they'll support, they'll try to figure out what it is that person is doing, and they'll implement it themselves. The people that throw digs, they're literally just asking for validation because they want to be told that staying where they are is okay, and they want to convince you that you're the fucking weird one. So if you're reading this and you fit shame someone, keep your opinion to yourself, keep your sins to yourself, we'll keep the results. Not everyone deserves an opinion on other people's progress, especially when your advice is based on Slimming World giving McDonald's a free pass.
It is true that oftentimes the people criticizing you the most are the most out of shape ones. And I, to some degree, believe in I will take your advice when I want your results. I mean, even someone with a great physique can say absolute bollocks, but still chances are someone with a great physique has gotten it somehow. So if middle-aged obese Karen from HR is telling you that eating too many eggs is bad, and that if you eat within 30 minutes of doing your cardio, the calories don't count, then I would say do not listen to that woman. I have actually been fit shamed myself, but differently, and that's mostly if like people being like, oh, don't get too muscular. Men might not like that. And it's always funny to me because like no man that is muscular and in shape has ever said that. I have never seen that online. I mean, feel free to send it to me if you can find a jack dude who has ever said anything against women being muscular, because it's always the men who are not that muscular themselves. But then again, I wouldn't be interested in that anyway.
I want you to resist. I'm not here to save you.
That is absolutely sick. That is crazy, man. It's so cool to see how people can just transform themselves. I love me a good transformation, and this dude is 100% locked in. I mean, look at that, man. He was huge, and he carried a lot of a good amount there. Hold on, I want to go to his profile. Let's check him out. Yeah, man, he has loose. I think of loose skin almost like battle scars, because it's proof that you have come back from something really that extreme. It's like, you know, when someone who is drinking too much, or someone who snorts too much, or whatever, beats their addiction, then, you know, it's like you would never know looking at them. But if someone has come back from the hinging and the food, you know, the overeating too much addiction, then you can see that visually. It's so interesting with food. It's literally the only affliction where you visually so clearly can identify that someone has that struggle. But then again, like this, you can also very clearly see that someone has indeed beaten it. I was thinking about that earlier. This time in prep, it immediately straight the weight came out of my my boobs, and I can put a picture up here or here, wherever on the screen I put it. I used to, when the weight came on, when I first started getting up to my highest weight, a lot of it went into my chest, and I had sizable F cups at one point. So now in general I don't have the they're always a bit saggy, right? But when I start dieting, it's like I was wearing a dress yesterday without a bra, so I can just wear it like this, and the way I have to do it now is it sounds stupid, I have to like roll up like the loose skin and I take this tape, you know, like body tape, and I tape it. I have to do that under my competition bikini as well, but then it's really difficult to do it because so it doesn't show under the bikini and it gives me anxiety. But yeah, I have to like roll it up and tape it in there. Right now I have like a balconette push-up bra, so there are tricks you would never know. And also I'm very lucky. People have asked me in the comments before, they were like, well, you've been obese but you got like super lean, how do you not have any loose skin? And the answer is I do have loose skin. I just have it in a very convenient spot where I can just roll it up and tape it away if I really need to. So yeah, no complaints there, but I do dream of being able to afford surgery for that as well. But yeah, as far as loose skin goes, I'm obviously very blessed. I mean, something like that is obviously harder to deal with, but nonetheless a sign of a great victory and something he should wear with pride. So yeah, this says lifting heavy won't make women bulky. Calorie surplus from frappuccinos will though. And this is so true. It's so weird how women will be scared to lift heavy because they don't want to look bulky, but then they go eat whatever. Like, food is literally the main thing that determines whether or not you can or will ever look bulky. So maybe fix that first. And yeah, in general, your health journey, in my eyes, first should always start in the kitchen. Like, it's great to work out for health and definitely do that, but it's just like food has to be is the single most important thing, if you ask me. I mean, yeah, it's both is extremely important. You need exercise, but you also need to eat quality food, and it makes such a huge difference. And because, you know, if you live a lifestyle where you take care of both, suddenly you don't have to be afraid of getting old anymore, because being old doesn't mean being frail and disabled and I don't know, you have to be worried that you can't take care of yourself anymore in old age. I mean, it might still happen, but the chances are pretty low if you keep lifting and working out and eating right. I mean, look at Tom Platz. He's still squatting like 150 kilos for reps, and he's like, what now, 70 something? I don't know. I think I'm gonna leave it here. I think the video is a little bit short. If it is, I'm sorry. I didn't pay attention to the time, but I know I do have to still go do some other stuff. I'm kind of a bit busy this weekend, but I thought this was some interesting videos nonetheless, and I feel like I did yap a lot at the videos, so there is that. As always, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you didn't, please let me know. If there is anything you would like to see Also let me know if you have any suggestions, feedback, always welcome. And of course, I am very happy and thankful that you are here. And yeah, I'm gonna love you and leave you. And I see you in the next video. Bye bye.